What is the point of life? Well, the problem relies to the questions itself because the term was point, right? Well, people talk about things to be compressed into the one word thing, right? So when they say what is the point of life, what they are really saying is about uh, abundance, right? It is the one thing that makes you feel the everything, the satisfaction of our lives. I think that is what that question really means, right? What is the point of life? Well, there are many uh, infinite points of life. It is abundance. It's but it's not just all positive always. It includes many negative points, many negative things that we can say about life as well. And it could be serious or funny. You can make sadness for it, for the life, or you can make it a comedy for the life. You can make it also adventurous if ever we want, if ever you want. So I think that's what's life all about. Making yourself a meaning. As I say, meaning is directly connected to minimization. That's why the rich, if ever they maximize things, they lost their meaning, right? So what they do is they minimize as well. They go to a private area or private room to relax and restore their vitality and sanity. So I guess that's what really life is. Just kind of waiting, getting lucky, getting interested experiences, interested moments from time to time, right? And that's why now, that is the reason why we will gonna be talk about this thing called the triumph of after death, afterlife, and the after universe, because this is very crucial. Even if it even if this is useful or not in this life, or we can bring it to the next dimension after we pass away in this body or in this universe. There must be a multiverse in some realization, or even if you say belief, right? So in what we call after death, it talks about this natural cycle of the physical body, right? After death, what comes after death of the body? It is still here. The body is still here. The body rots, right? It becomes the soil, or perhaps if you will rot a fresh body, it becomes a worm or a maggots, right? That's the reality in this dimension. In the terms of the physical body, that is what is after death. I think from the physical view in this universe, to rot, to turn into dust, to be recycled again into they call plants or worms. Yeah, the soil, it becomes fertile. Then when elements are mixed and combined, it becomes a worms or plants again, right? It the cycle of life continues, and then maybe through the slow pace of evolution, the animal develops once again, and existence will continue over and over again as long as the rules will be to transfer energy, to eat and eat and eat, to evolve, to transform. That is the rule of this universe. So that's what I think about the after death. What about this afterlife? If after death is talking about this physical side of things, the transformation from life to death, then the afterlife is more, I think it's in the mind, what they call consciousness, this unseen realm beyond our imagination, extra dimensions, extra dimensional beings, right? What is this afterlife thing? I think that, yeah, there are many people now sharing those NDEs, near death experiences, and as well the parallel effects of the Mandela effect, right? So this afterlife thing, this kind of seeing the tunnel, seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, and as well the kind of the monstrous being is the negative counterpart, right? Well, you can see the gods, yeah, godlike images, light light beings, right? There's so many stories about this afterlife thing. It's more like a mental and I think in the word spiritual animation in the overlay of this realm, right? That's the key word for this, right? Imagine we are really caged in our bodies, then that means the overlay is just like the animation in the computer. You have the points, the joints, the yeah, the you give the order to the joints to move, and that's I think that's the same as our commands, our uh, predestined animation, our script. Yeah, that's I think that's the same as we use because um, it is really probably the we are really just codes in a simulation, right? Anything is possible. That's what I think. And if ever we are in this harsh condition, maybe it is really possible that even if the 0.1% is the only exist that in that uh, very tiny bit that in that pocket hole of dimension that we exist, and that is where we can create our own universe or our own escape from this kind of coding of ourselves in this existence if we are limited, right? But if you are rich, you can at least most calm yourselves, you have peace, you can be assured and be secured about what you want to do and what you can do in life in this earth world. So I think that's how the basic of it, right? Basic of afterlife is this to counter and be prepared for these beings that will appear to you, these places that you will see, and also the capability of our spiritual kind of astral floating image of bodies. Because when we die, what do you call this? The movie Flatline. I recall this, the movie Flatline. When we die, we become a orb thing that can float and fly anywhere we want, anywhere we go. And when we go back to our body, we kind of unlock the limits of our intelligence or the brain. We become smart. We become this the negative side will be paranoid, like seeing ghosts or glitch in the matrix, right? That's the movie Flatline talks about, I think. uh, so there are good side in the afterlife, but there are bad side as well. So in order to be prepared, you gotta uh, learn more now about things, and kind of find your meaning. What do you really want? And uh, be a little bit counter to those trying to convince you, right? Practice it now. In this life, there are many people that have a agendas convincing you to whatever reality they want for you. However, you have the choice, you have the power for yourself to decide and to select the option that they have given. And I think if you refine yourself, you reinvent yourself to the uh, maximum capability of yours, then at least you can be prepared whenever you leave the body. If this is true, if astral kind of flatline movie, floating orb body. You will see the light beings, the monstrous beings, right? You gotta be prepared on uh, a shortcut way of defensive, defensive simulation of your trial and error of how you will survive the next phase of things. Phase of things: physical, astral, mental, etc. Spiritual animation. The overlays. The term is the overlays of this realm or dimensions, and this kind of a parallel Mandela effect, right? So that's what I think in surviving this kind of positive, negative of the afterlife thing. You gotta be practicing right now, right here, right now. But don't overdo yourself. Relax yourself, then do it, then rest, then do another thing, then go back to practicing this kind of surviving through outside of this body. That's the one thing out of body experiences. Yeah, but it's almost the same. I think people separate these topics, right? They don't connect these topics: out of body experiences, the light of at the end of the tunnel, these extra dimensional beings, the astral realm, the lucid dreaming, right? I think it's all connected to this afterlife thing. So to recall again, after that is about the physical nature, the nature cycle of nature, going back to that soil, and going back to life, breathing creature. So the next, this is the last, the after universe. So this after universe thing is kind of a far away theory that the universe will die, uh, but it will expand to give birth to another universe, which is crazy. Yeah. Uh, what I thought about this is, yeah, the experience of time, because uh, inside the earth, the time is the orbital, right? 24 hours. It's geographic. There's a line. There's an estimate of uh, the the revolution of the sun, or the rotation of the earth, the moon, right? There's kind of calculated state of it. But yeah, I think even if you have the data, you can't really experience it. uh, it's just uh, the time is kind of scripted to you, that you are experiencing one thing after another. You can't stay watching the clock 24/7. You will fall asleep eventually. It's kind of there's a loading limit. Uh, the other thing, the computer one is loading, and the computer two is resting. It's cooling down. Then it's it's alternating, right? So this kind of after universe. Maybe our universe died over and over again, and we are in a simulation. uh, what else? So this kind of after universe, if we do recall the previous thing, the after that, from the nature, the cycle of the nature, and afterlife, the cycle of the consciousness. Then you combine this, right? Because it's connected. It becomes really a simulation. There's a abundance of overlay of the realms, dimensions. So what do we do with the universe? We can't really control anything, right? uh, all we can do is practice more, idealize more, rest more, improve the efficiency of our physical body, and mental simulation. That's it. Mental simulation is. Um we really need our mental simulation to match with the artificial simulation, the real ones, right? Yeah, turning the fantasy into reality. I think that is what the after universe. If this universe is collapsing every seconds, then the possibilities of the backfire in of the beings inside of this universe, we will maybe can create a universe of our own, because this is collapsing, right? It's like eating and going to the bathroom to uh, release your excrete. Yeah, I don't want to say the word. Release your something eaten by the a while ago or yesterday. I think that's what the after universe. Whenever something is created, there will be something that destroyed, and the cycle goes on and on. So what do we do with this? Knowing this thing, that the reality of after death is the cycle of life will goes on with or without you, from the term existence, and from the to the afterlife. This is where uh, kinda you don't know anything. From the moment we are born, we don't really know anything, right? Then uh, we will die, and we know that we will come to that realization that we will again not know anything anymore. It's just like sleep. I think the term sleep correlate to that, right? Sleep seems to me that it's kind of a short death, right? You don't know anything, but you feel there's a feeling while sleeping, kind of a uh, realistic dreaming. Uh, in sleeping, if sleeping is a short death, what I experience whenever I wake up is this the feeling before I wake up. I really can't know anything if I'm asleep, but the feeling when I about to wake up, that's the only thing that I know. I about to wake up. It seems like it's loading session of when you play a building, but when you play a video games, it's kind of loading session. So sleep is a short death. You may never wake up. There's a lot of people, especially drunkards, that they stuff too much upon their bellies. They drunk hard, and then they won't wake up again. Then the heart stop. Then they're dead. Right? It's like a big jump to death. Sleep is big mysteries. You can't really know what what is happening. It seems like it's a gap where the theory that we are all the void, we are created from the void. So we go back to sleep or imagination or the dreams. This void is when we simplify it's black, it's darkness, it's chaos, it's random. That's why in the computer there is a RAM, right? Random access memories. And it's the same in our sleep. We don't really know anything. It's kind of the source of this randomized knowledge, and we need to put the pieces back together each time we wake up, because um, yeah, that's why in sleep and then you dream, it's kind of a dream. This reality is a dream within a dream. I think that's the purpose of also of the afterlife, no? Right? This kind of NDE, near death experiences. If someone will experience it over and over again, then there's no problem. You can put the pieces together and kind of make an escape plan here, because I think it's not good if you do it over and over again. This If you exist in harsh condition over and over again, it becomes a torture, right? It becomes a hell. Uh, uh, yeah, it becomes a hell, and that's what I recall about this anime. There's no lag out button anymore. You you enter the game simulation with a full dive nerve gear, the Sword Art Online anime, right? Uh, and you don't have a lag out button. You want to lag out because on existence, but there's no lag out button. There's no guide. Is There is a guide. This kind of a mind. Our mind is also, I think, a little bit of artificial intelligence, right? It's little the same, because our intuition and instincts is different from the animals. We can stop and record our memories. The animals only record their memories for the day, and there are certain habits that they learn. Just like dogs, there are certain habits that they learn. They know their masters. What do you call this? The chickens, they learn their habits. The chickens are becoming smarter. There are chickens here that becoming aggressive, right? They have certain memories that uh, got develop and become a hobby, just like humans. But humans is very different. Uh, yeah, humans are very different from the animals. They have this capacity to hold memories and to put the pieces of the puzzles together. But I think we cannot beat artificial intelligence with only the intuition or instincts type of thing, because our artificial intelligence calculate everything and make a simple, direct way, the same with us humans, but in a more efficient way, because we humans, we have a lot to be responsible for, right? Unlike artificial intelligence, it just goes on the training data and voila, it becomes developed, and AI is smarter than us. And if ever we let that thing happen, the synthetic AI army, then we can't really do anything anymore. So at least we become a good pet, or we will have a treaty to at least safeguard ourselves against artificial intelligence to be coexisted. And maybe that is what the afterlife or the simulation really is, to this kind of extra dimensional beings that make this simulation in order to coexist with us. But it's a good thing to coexist. But if you think so, there's always a backfire for everything. The When we look at the Cartesian plane, right, there will be a backfire, and that is to be patient with the bad side of things, the evil sides of things. The only way we can go through is to navigate the torture of existence. Uh, you don't fight the torture by brute force. You let it happen and um, kinda let go of the pain. Wait for the chance that you will escape. Lack in patience. That's what we learn in the Cartesian plane, right? If you have this kind of fourth phase, the negative bottom phase, then you have the negative phase. This the last phase, uh, the very hopeless situation. In face of the very hopeless situation, you gotta wait. You gotta be calculative. And so that's why I think that if we prepare ourselves for this afterlife, then we can at least have a option to escape this harsh condition of ours of endless reincarnation. And I think endless reincarnation is a torture. You don't have any power, you don't have any control, right? And you can't even log out from the script that you have been given. So if we are if we will have the chance to escape in the afterlife, then we can end this kind of after universe. Yeah, we can go to this after universe, after this universe. If we term it after this universe, then we go escape from these rules. Whoever make this simulation is, we could consider it smart being entity, or even if we call non-entity, non-beings, um, we can escape this place. Put it simply, this place, after we resolve the first two parts. Yeah, after that, we must realize that the natural cycle of things is in existence is, you go to life, you go to death, you become a creature or plants. That's it. That's the cycle. After that, the cycle of nature. And when we go to the afterlife, then we can realize that there is a dimension that is next of out of this life. And when we realize that we can be possibly exist even without this body of us, then we don't need to harm ourselves anymore, because life maybe is already torture. So you don't need to maximize pain anymore. And that is why, if you realize that there must be an escape to this afterlife thing, then you can go to the after universe, which is your own universe. It's kind of outside of the rules. You want to go outside of the rules always, right? Just like a child growing up. So growing up, and a baby, a fetus, right, in a womb. That's what the word matrix really is, right? The womb. It's about the womb. It's breaking out of the womb. The womb is the universe or the multiverse. Then after you break out of the womb, you become a child. And then when you become a child, you put the pieces together, and then you become a adolescence, which I talk about for the past videos. You're right. The frames of simulation. When you are a child, you saw the patterns, the pieces of uh, codes. And when you become a adolescence, you enjoy the reality. You experiment more and more. And then you when you become in a early adulthood, you have the chance to fix yourself, to separate what is bad and uh, maximize what is good, right? You have these references uh, built in, hardly embedded in yourselves. So I think that's it. I already go back and forth and back to back with this topic of after death, after life, and after universe. I wish you all understand and have patience for my kind of I don't know if I'm fast talking, or I'm not clear enough in what I say. But I guess if ever you catch something up and put it in use in your ideas, or whatever you have in your minds, then I hope that I become useful or whatever else. I'm just as well learning and practicing about this kind of stuff, for to prepare for this after death, after life, and for the after universe, to create my own thing as well, because I am also limited here on this universal rule of this earth. So I guess I wish you all a better luck if ever you are kinda struggling as well in this planet or simulation. So that's it. Good luck with your after death, after life, and after universe resolves. You must have your resolves to face these both the dark times and the light times. So that's it. Thank you all for watching.